everybody!
Hello.
Happy birthday!
I hate it.
What is this? Our third anniversary or our second? I've lost count.
I don't know. That's your job.
I think it's our third, but I'm confused about whether that means we've been doing this for 3 years or 2 years.
Just move on. Just don't give the people time to think about it.
As is tradition, we're watching a Pac-Man episode for our anniversary. However, we're running out of Pac-Mans. There aren't a lot of Pac-Mans for us to watch. So we're watching this one again.
We had to pick the worst.
Yeah.
We picked the worst of two packs, man.
Because we only just recently watched the other one.
I know, I hate it.
Play the theme song!
The Pac is back, Ghost chomping at his feet. Pac's our hero, Pac just can't be beat, yeah!
Pac-Man yellow, Pac extreme, he's a chowing down machine. Yup, monster goons, and only one can stop him. Pac-Man rules!
The Pac is back, Ghost chomping at his feet. Pac's our hero, and Pac just can't be beat. The Pac is back!
The theme song is worse than I remembered. It's one of the worst things that have ever entered into my ears.
It's a really bad theme song, right?
It's terrible.
I can't believe how bad it is.
It's just chaotic. It doesn't sound good at any point.
The part that always... Like, it's already bad right from the get-go, but the part that always really strikes me with how bad it is the part where just kind of out of nowhere and not even, in a good sync with the rest of the song, the guy just announces, Pac's our hero. It's like, oh, what, did you think we wouldn't get that?
No, just like we wouldn't get that the Pac is back.
Yeah. Where's he been?
Why is he the only yellow one?
It doesn't even make sense, because this isn't even like a reboot. It's a brand new Pac-Man. Where's he back from?
But he's back from middle age.
I guess it is a reboot. That's the problem. It's not a continuation. He's back from middle age. Do you think this show's a prequel to the other show?
No, I don't.
You don't think that they can coexist?
No.
I mean, they both have
There's
a president.
zero talk about Ghost Wars.
That's true. But maybe they just happened so long ago that they're not in the consensus anymore. Like, how often do we talk about World War One, really?
That depends who you're talking to.
It does depend who you're talking to, that's true.
It depends where you are. Don't act like it doesn't get discussed on the daily.
Okay.
You're just not talking to those people.
You're right. World War Two, definitely. I feel like... No, it's definitely still happening. But maybe it's happening in the Hanna-Barbera Pac-Man show as well, but we just don't encounter those people.
What a dumb piece of world building that would be. What a dumb, useless thing.
You know what? If this show suddenly out of nowhere pulls out a Mesmeron origin episode, I don't know, I wouldn't hate it.
But what if... I think I would hate it, actually.
Yeah, you would.
As much as I love Mesmeron, I hate this show. I hate everything about this show.
What if we get
This is the dumbest waste of time.
We get to an episode later on where, like, Mesmeron is a new kid at Pac-Man's school and they become friends, but Pac-Man somehow betrays him.
I don't care, because the writing is so bad.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be funny. It wouldn't be endearing.
Okay. But
They just ruined Mesmeron.
Speaking of the writing in this show, this episode, like the last one we watched, is still written by Tom Ruegger and Paul Rugg, Animaniacs veterans.
I don't understand. This is the dumbest show.
Not me neither. That's what I was going to say.
Like,
these are people who wrote for Animaniacs and Tiny Toons and Freakazoid. Shows that I think are hilarious.
and then they shat this one out.
They wrote for Pinky and the Brain. And then they wrote this.
How prominent were their roles in all that writing?
Pretty prominent. I've been rewatching Animaniacs and I didn't remember that this was written by Animaniacs veterans, but when I saw their names come up, I was like, oh, those are two names I've been seeing all the time, rewatching Animaniacs. they had stood out. They'd been on screen enough on Animaniacs that it stood out to me. So
What happened?
I know. I don't know. It has to be something about this show. It has to be like an executive or something.
Right. Somebody higher up telling them that they can't make jokes.
Yeah. Like, no, not that joke. Not on this show.
I didn't even almost laugh once.
No. No, I don't think I did either. Anyway, this episode aired on June 15th, 2013 on Disney XD. Same day as the first episode did. So they must have been a back-to-back, you know.
Oh, we get the full story.
Right, because did you remember that the first episode ended on a cliffhanger?
I didn't remember anything about the first episode, except that Pac-Man is the most passive protagonist ever.
That's not true, because you quote this at me all the time.
Oh, you mean one day a teen will roll onto the scene?
Yeah, that's like, I feel like you've said that to me once a month since we watched the first episode.
That's true. I kind of forget that the prophecy, like, is tied to anything, and I just think it's a funny poem.
Yeah, you forget that was an ancient prophecy.
Right! Just think it's like a funny poem that the mayor wrote, or the president, whoever this guy is.
He's the president. But that's
Okay.
okay, we don't need to show him any respect. Yeah, this is The Adventure Begins Part 2. And apparently Pacopolis is still reeling from the ghost attack. They're having aftershocks? It's unclear why.
I don't know. Maybe the ghosts are rowdy in hell.
I mean, they didn't seem that rowdy when we see hell. They only show up when someone sees the teen rolling around on the scene.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's because the tree, it was the foundation of everything. It's the world tree. It's Yggdrasil.
Yeah, maybe. This tree's role is unclear.
Except it's a power pill tree.
Yeah,
Like what Mesmeron was looking for.
I got some questions,
Yeah.
but we'll get to them as they rose for me. So the president gives a speech, and he starts talking about the State of the Union. I don't know what union he's talking about.
The Pac Union, obviously.
Is this the United States of Pac World?
Probably.
I did find out as I was researching the show that there is a Pac Tokyo. So
Oh, thank goodness we're aware of that fact.
So this isn't the whole world that we saw here. In his office, the president tells a bunch of children that they need to recover the Tree of Life to prevent the world from being destroyed.
They need to go to hell and get the tree back.
Yeah, and he's not going to help.
No.
He doesn't do
Or
shit.
any of these Secret Service guys.
Right. No.
They weren't in the prophecy.
This is the job of the teen
Right.
who rolled
He
onto
rolled
the
onto
scene.
the scene.
Yeah. He definitely made up that prophecy.
We can't afford this. It's not in the budget. Get the teens to do it.
Just make sure you shake the building a bit so they think it's important. I just want my tree back. My brother stole my tree. I want it back.
Betrayus made me look like a fool. We gotta wrap this up quietly.
Make everybody think that it's a world-ending catastrophe, so they're all on my side. So they have to go to the Nether Realm and get the tree back. They've just got one tiny little sapling with a couple of power berries left on it.
One left for each of them, perfectly.
Yeah, through most of the show, they refer to it as the Tree of Life, but then there's one part where Spiral, the big one of Pac-Man's friends, calls it the Power Palm. And
Maybe it's both.
I'm kind of assuming that it was called the Power Palm originally, and then they were like, no, change it to the Tree of Life. And they forgot to find and replace that one mention of the Power Palm.
I don't know. The writing in this is pretty good.
It's pretty
I don't
solid.
think they'd make a mistake like that.
Pac-Man's name is Paxter in this, right? At least at this point.
Yeah. At first I thought it was just like a cute nickname because They always call him that, and it doesn't sound correct.
No, it sounds weird. It's like if... I mean, with the... I guess this is always true of Pac-Man. But with the naming scheme of all of this, it's like if my name was Humanster. Humster.
Or like, imagine your name is still Michael, and then you go to hell and you save the world tree and come back, and the president goes, I'm gonna start calling you Mike Man.
I'd be like, please don't.
It's weird and uncomfortable.
I don't like that. It sounds like a superhero name I would have come up with when I was 5.
Anyway, Mike Man, please receive your award and stand in the photo with me.
I'm going to put on all the documents that it was Mike Man that did it. And I'm like, that's not my name, though.
We have legally changed your name to Mike Man.
Right, that's what happens at the end. It's so weird. Anyway, we're not there yet, but... So, they have the Ghost Gang captive. Paxter promised not to eat them last episode. So now they owe him a favor, even though he's put them in jail.
Even though most of the eating he did in the last episode was on accident. Things just fell into his mouth. He's like, oh no, I'm so sorry.
Been there. So they ask the ghosts to take them to the Netherrealm, but the ghosts say it's impossible. But Pac-Man threatens to eat them again, and they become a little bit more amenable to it. And this is where, I don't know if we knew this. Did we know that the president has the corporeal bodies of all the ghosts?
Like in storage somewhere?
Yes. I don't think we knew that.
I don't think so. I know Betrayus is mad about it and trying to get a body or something, but I didn't know he had every single ghost's body.
I don't know.
In a closet somewhere.
Yeah, in something called the repository, according to the wiki.
Ew.
Yeah, so all the ghosts want is their bodies back so they can leave the Netherrealm and live in Pac-World in peace. And the president's like, no!
No, I damn you to being a lawless heathen for the rest of your life.
Those are my bodies!
I don't trust you saying you want to live a quiet, lawful life.
You can't have my NRFB bodies.
I like to play dress-up with them.
It's so weird. Yeah, he refuses. He says he won't help them because putting them back in their bodies could destroy them. It's never been done, apparently.
Why does he have the bodies then?
I don't know. I think that sounds like bullshit.
Yeah.
I mean, he has the bodies because that's how he ended the war. He stripped all the ghosts from their bodies.
But why does he still have the bodies?
I don't know.
Like, why does he have a morgue full of all of these corpses that have just been sitting around?
Yeah, for an okay, so let's get back to the war for a second. Because I just remembered that this war apparently happened so long ago that most people don't believe it really happened.
Right. Why does he have skeletons? Why does he have a room full of skeletons?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
This is the presidential catacombs.
This is my presidential corpse collection. I like to dress up the corpse of my brother as a little fairy and slap him around.
Sometimes I put a clown nose on him and honk it.
He just has his brother's corpse.
Wait, how is it his brother if the Ghost War was that long ago?
No, Mel, it doesn't make any sense. The president fought in the Ghost War. So did Pac-Man's parents.
Oh, yeah! I forgot there are people alive that were in the Ghost War, and everybody else was like, I don't know about that Ghost War.
I don't
I
think
think
it
that's
existed.
propaganda.
Because it was a big plot point in the first episode that Pac-Man was the only person who believed it really happened.
Oh my god. Even though
It's like
the
that-
president was in it.
I'm telling you, the war happened. It killed my parents. People are like,
Oh,
no.
Pac-Man, I killed your parents.
Like, if his parents were lost to the war, it could only have been like 15 years ago at most, because he's a teen.
right.
And people already don't believe it happened.
Attention spans are short in Pac-Land.
I'm thinking the world building in this show might not be completely up to snuff.
What?
I don't know if it passes the sniff test.
What? No.
Anyway, so the president eventually agrees that he'll do everything he can to restore their bodies if the mission is a success. The mission is a success, spoiler alert, and he does nothing to help.
We don't know. Maybe he does in the next episode.
He doesn't. I looked. In fact, over 50 episodes later, and these four are still ghosts, so...
I'm not the president of hell. I don't have to fulfill that kind of promise.
I'm not the president of hell. It's true, I guess.
Do you have any proof I made this claim?
Did you take a video? No? Good.
Can't have another one of those videos floating around.
So the ghosts shake hands with the pack people, leaving them all covered in Nickelodeon gack.
It's ectoplasm.
Yeah, I guess so. There's a couple other times when we see ectoplasm in this episode. I guess they all create an ectoplasm that matches their body color.
Yeah.
Like later on, we see a whole bunch of ghosts slam into a wall and they all turn into green jello.
The goo.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't look. It doesn't look like the ghosts to me. It doesn't look like it comes from them.
You just don't understand how ghosts work.
I guess I'd want it to be more glowy and less shiny,
I guess, yeah.
so that it looks more like them. You know.
Yeah. But that is the smallest nitpick.
That's a really minor complaint in this show that has plenty to complain about. So the ghosts and the teens head back to Maze 256, the school's maze prison.
forbidden maze that nobody's allowed into.
That's right, yeah, which is just on.
Which has the gateway to hell inside of it.
Yeah, and a turnstile entrance. And they all just kind of run around aimlessly for a while as we get a pretty nice remix of the Pac-Man opening theme. I thought that was fun.
Sure.
I mean, it's just a little waste of time.
Yeah, nobody knows where they're going. The ghosts don't know how they got out of here.
No, they're supposed to be leading the teens to the gate to the netherworld, but they don't know where it is. And Cylindria calls the situation stinky, and Pinky takes that as an insult to her in particular.
Who's stinky? I'm not stinky. I'm Pinky. I smell good.
This is relevant.
It is relevant. It was kind of contrived, but it will be a running plot through the rest of the episode. They finally find the door, and Pac calls the president to tell him that they're going in. Because the president is not helping in any way.
No. He's not even, watching from a 50 monitor display.
No, he's just, at home watching his stories.
Yeah. He just answers the phone whatever, Pac-Man, that's nice.
I'm trying to watch this, you know. Please stop wasting my time with this until you bring my tree back.
Please don't call me until you've left hell.
If you get in trouble, lose my number. But he does warn them that the power from the berries will only protect them in the Netherrealm for a certain amount of time, And when it runs out, something will happen.
Turns out they just get really small for some reason.
Yeah. So when they eat the berries, they each get marginally bigger.
Right.
And then when the berries wear out, they go back to normal size. And then they just like get slowly smaller and smaller.
If you die in hell, you die in real life.
So I'm assuming this isn't the only episode where they go to the Nether Realm. I wonder if this was consistent or if, like, next time they go, there's just no problem.
I'm putting my money on that.
Yeah, me too. It's exactly what I'm expecting.
Or it's gonna be like, well, we have the tree now. We have an infinite supply of berries that you just never watch us eat.
That's true. Yeah, that's probably what it is. But the whole time, I'm just thinking how they're going to get the tree out. And it turns out it wasn't a problem, but...
Right. It turns out they can just fly for no reason.
Yeah, and they can carry the tree, even though it's huge.
They couldn't fly in, but they can fly out.
Okay, we'll talk about that. What did you think of the Netherrealm?
It's boring.
It's pretty boring. Yeah.
It's really boring for hell.
But they get there, and Blinky leads them down a staircase that turns out to be a dragon. I kind of liked the dragon.
I liked the dragon's design.
Yeah.
I thought it was stupid.
Well, yeah, it's an idiot.
I just mean I thought it was stupid to even have this in the episode.
Oh, right. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot. It's here to waste time, like a lot of things in this episode are.
Yeah.
Pac-Man bites its tail and it freaks out. It really doesn't like that, even though he doesn't appear to do any damage.
Yeah, it's not like taking a noticeable bite out of it. He's just nibbling on it.
Yeah, he doesn't even have teeth. Actually, he does have teeth, but only sometimes.
Yeah, and this dragon's too big to swallow. Well, I guess I can't even say that, because that other giant ghost he just eats.
That's true.
After they waste 50 minutes of our time arguing with it, he just puts it in his mouth.
Well, I think the rule is that he can only eat ghosts. Because
Okay.
I think... So, I read it a little bit into what the next episode after this is about. And apparently Betrayus in the next episode realizes Pac-Man can only eat ghosts and not monsters. So he breeds an army of monsters.
Does he breed an army of ghost monsters? Does that count?
I don't think so.
Because that's what these guys are supposed to be.
Were they just... I think they were just ghost monsters in the 80s show.
They don't remain ghost monsters forever?
No, I think they're just straight up ghosts in this one.
Okay.
I think in the 80s show they were born ghost monsters, but in this show they're actually the ghosts of Pac people.
Okay.
Do you think... No, okay, so Inky, Blinky, Pinky, and Clyde definitely were turned into ghosts during the war because they have corporeal bodies that they want back.
Uh-huh.
So does that mean that the president was killing babies and turning them into ghosts? Because they're clearly like the same age as Pac-Man and his friends. Or did they stop aging when they became ghosts?
Babies. They're teenagers. They're more than old enough to go to war.
Right, so do you think they've been teenagers the whole time, or do you think they aged?
I think they've been teenagers.
I think we need to know. I think we need to watch a backstory episode about these four. Because I'm pretty sure they exist.
I don't want to do that.
Alright. Anyway, Paxter has this whole fight with this ghost, and with this dragon. And he tricks the dragon into setting its own tail on fire. And they get rid of the dragon, but they made so much noise that 1 million ghosts show up. It's just a swarm of ghosts come in. And the ghost gang disguise the Pac teens as ghosts by covering them in sewage for some reason.
Yeah. Radioactive glowing sewage that they just kind of had on their person.
When they started it, I was like, okay, they're covering them in ectoplasm. But then we see that it is sewage.
It's labeled as such.
Yeah. And then they try to slip past a guard. I kind of liked the design of this guard. I think I like a lot of the designs in this show, actually.
Yeah, I like the design of the guard, but this whole scene was a useless waste of our time.
Oh, yeah.
Just like this whole episode.
Yeah, so the guard asks he can tell that they're not ghosts. Pinky introduces them as Dinky, Thinky, and Stinky. She calls Cylindria Stinky as revenge for Cylindria using the word stinky earlier, which really offended.
In her presence.
Yeah, really offended her. The guard is possibly played by Lee Tokar, who also plays Inky, but unclear. I couldn't find a solid answer. So to try and convince the guard that there are actually ghosts, the pack people perform what I would
stereotypical ghost
yes,
noises.
what I would call racist stereotypes of ghosts.
Look out! I'm coming to haunt you!
They're not ghosts.
They're in ghost face right now, doing some minstrelry.
Yeah, but the guard doesn't buy it because he can't see through them.
You can't see through the ghosts either.
Yeah, first thing I noticed, there's like 5 ghosts in this shot and you can't see through a single one of them.
No.
That's a very clear, like, the writers wrote this before they saw the designs kind of thing.
Like, oh, they're ghosts. That means you can see through them, right?
Yeah, it's like that, remember that Mario Super Show episode we watched where Birdo kept talking about her beak and her feathers and stuff?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, the writers didn't know what these characters were going to look like. So then the ghosts try to play it off like they've just captured these 3 and are taking them back to betray us. But he doesn't buy that either. We're not told why he doesn't buy that, but I'm assuming he knows these 4 and he knows they're useless idiots.
They're the Team Rocket of ghosts.
Yeah. It does seem like he's familiar with the 4 of them.
You didn't catch these 3.
He accuses them of helping the pack wielders steal back the tree. And the ghosts all laugh together about it, and the guard really laughs about it. And then while he's rolling on the floor laughing, they all just kind of slip by him.
And it's useless because they just eat him in the next scene!
Right.
But now he's alerted the entire ghost army.
Yeah, that's what we needed. We needed a million ghosts to show up, to chase them around a lava maze for a couple minutes.
Oh, it's so stupid.
Yeah, I do, it's so barely there, so you don't really see it that much, but I do kind of appreciate that they have made this entire world out of mazes.
Why would someone do a thing like that? Who knows?
It doesn't matter. That's all we know about Pac-Man. There's only 2 things about Pac-Man. It's that he eats...
He eat ghosts. He run maze.
Exactly. That's the entire Pac-Man mythos. That's one of the reasons I think it's always really interesting to see why, and to see how people interpret Pac-Man into a TV show.
Right.
Because there's nothing to work with.
Right. There is no lore.
It's one of the few things where, like, you look at Mario, if they made a Mario show now, there's a lot of stuff to go with. You know, there's tons of Mario world building that's happened in the years since the Super Show.
Mm-hmm.
So if they made a new Mario show now, we'd have a pretty solid idea of whether this was game accurate or not. But Pac-Man, who the hell knows? Like, even after all this time, there's no real world building to the Pac-Man series.
Even in, like, the RPG games?
There is world building, but it's all out the window for the next game.
Okay.
So, like, there's no consistency between releases.
Gotcha.
So the world of the Pac-Man World series is completely different than, like, anything else. And the thing is, most of the time when they go back to Pac-Man, they just go back to a black maze with ghosts running around in it, because that's what people want from Pac-Man.
Right. That's what the people crave.
We're not here looking for a Mario 64-esque platformer. We're here
I'm looking for a space opera from my Pac-Man games. I want the next Mass Effect.
Imagine, like, a different world where Pac-Man had gone on, like, the Sonic trajectory, and now there's, like, a black Pac-Man with red stripes, and there's all this, like, complex lore about Mesmeron's grandfather.
I don't want to imagine that world. You can't make me imagine that world.
I guess even when Sonic started, it had more lore than Pac-Man did. Oh, God. What? I'm trying to think of, like, something that has a similar amount of lore to Pac-Man.
Pong.
No! Pac-Man at least had more lore than that. Pong doesn't have a character.
Paddle A and Paddle B.
Oh, you're right. The Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man of the Pong world.
Duh.
He has a wife. That's something. Not that they're allowed to use her anymore, but still.
I think that's Pac-Man in drag.
Oh yeah, you think it's a Minnie Mouse situation?
Yeah. I mean, Miss Pac-Man is just a mod.
I don't know if that's true. It's true, I forgot that. Well, I think she was in the first game, but only in, like, a cutscene.
Where the packs, like, meet and
Yeah.
make kisses or something.
Yeah, I think so. Anyway, back to this show. So Pac's eaten all the ghosts in this lava maze, and Spiral and Cylindria suddenly pull out Ghostbuster guns that suck the ghosts up.
Yeah. They lose them real quick, though,
Oh, yeah.
so it's okay.
They explode almost immediately.
Pretty useless.
Once all the ghosts are eaten, Pac burps out some eyeballs and asks for a breath mint, which causes Pinky to immediately fall in love with him.
Anybody got a mint?
I groaned out loud at this scene.
You could tell that this was animated in Japan because of the way he like had his finger under his nose for this whole thing.
Right.
That's such a Japanese shonen. It's like a shonen, such a shonen gesture, you know. All the shonen protagonists put their finger under their nose for some reason.
Yeah, what is that? Why? What does it mean?
I don't know. I wonder
How'd
where
it
it
get
comes
burned?
from. How to get burned? Spiral and Cylindria's guns explode and the ghosts escape. And at that point, the ghosts, like, you would think when the ghosts came out, they'd be like, try to catch him again. But they're just like, oh, whatever. Let's get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So the gang heads to what I guess is a castle.
Yeah, it's some manner of spooky pointed castle.
And this is where they find the tree, and it's guarded by Fluffy, the three-headed demon dog. Fluffy is my favorite character in this show.
I don't hate Fluffy, but I hate the jokes that they tried to set up around Fluffy.
Oh, me too. I just love the design of this dog. I love the like big Pac-Man eyes it has. It's cute. But I mean, it turns evil every now and then, but
Yeah, I just can't get over the bad setup. I can't forgive it.
that's understandable. So the kids all charge to fight Fluffy, but they just end up trapped in a cage by Betrayus.
Well, they don't all just charge to attack Fluffy. There's a 10-minute setup about how Fluffy is an evil dog, but one of the heads is nice.
Oh.
And it's just wasting my goddamn time.
Yeah, they talk about how Fluffy will like chew you up, but then it will send you a get well soon card.
Right. Only one of the heads.
Yeah, okay.
I hated it.
Yeah.
I hate how this show doesn't respect your time at all.
Yeah, to be honest, like, this entire 2-part story could have just been a 1 episode if they didn't have so much time wasting in here.
It could have been an email.
So Betrayus broadcasts a message to Pac World, taunting them and his brother, the president. Did we know that he was his brother?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Okay, I didn't remember it. And he shows them that he's captured their last best hope, the teens. And without the Tree of Life, we see that Pac World is being bombarded by meteors for some reason.
The only thing stopping us meteors from destroying Pac-World was the Tree of Life. Go, go, go!
In the dungeon, Betrayus reveals to Pac that he knew his parents. And apparently he has some of their stuff, but he's not going to give it to him. Which is really...
I borrowed your father's t-shirt, and I'm keeping it forever. It's my nighttime shirt.
When I killed your parents, I stole their lawnmower.
I have a bunch of CDs, and I'm not even listening to them.
So it turns out that the Ghost Gang betrayed Pac-Man and his friends.
Did they? I don't think they even know what side of the fight they're on at this point.
It seems like they somehow contacted Betrayus ahead and were like, hey, we've got these guys. But they definitely feel bad about it.
This whole time, it seems like they've just been bumbling into allegiances. Like, I could easily believe that Betrayus just assumed that they did this intentionally, and they didn't.
Well, they admit to it, though. When he says they did it, they're like, yeah, we did it.
Yeah, but then they also just immediately turn coat anyway.
Well, I think that's just bad writing.
Yeah.
Or maybe Betrayus was right when he said you can never trust a ghost. And he can't trust a ghost either.
I don't know.
Every ghost
It's
is just
stupid.
constantly backstabbing everyone.
Would they remain that evil if they went back in their bodies?
Oh, good question. I guess they were probably that evil before they became ghosts.
What started the Ghost Wars?
There's an episode about it.
Okay.
I think all we know is that Betrayus started the Ghost Wars, but we don't know exactly why. This is where Pac and his friends shrink back to their normal size because the berries ran out. Not that it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Oh, and Betrayus tells the ghost gang that they have to kill Pac and his friends, but he carefully avoids saying that word.
Yeah, this is Disney. We don't say that word here.
They say that word in Disney all the time.
Shh.
I feel like Disney's the one kids company that's not afraid to put death all over everything. Remember that Gravity Falls episode where all those stuffed animals bleed out their eyes?
Yeah, you sold that to me as so much creepier than it was.
It was creepier than anything I'd seen on children's television.
That's because you never watched Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Fair. It's funny because Cartoon Network used to be cool, but they became one of the most censorious of all the kids' companies. I think Nickelodeon was worse than them, but still pretty bad. But yeah, they use the words destroy them, and then my personal favorite, make them not exist forever.
Yeah.
But they won't say kill them.
If they kill them, do they just not come back as ghosts?
I don't know. I feel like there has to be a very specific mode of death that turns people into ghosts, but I'm not certain.
You have to get your soul physically stripped from your body.
Yeah, you have to be put into a centrifuge that's gonna separate your soul out. So the ghost gang now have laser guns and executioner hoods, and they've got 4 guns to kill 3 people.
Yeah.
And Pinky's still talking about she thinks that Pac has a crush on her.
Yeah.
She has a crush on him.
It becomes a huge part of this episode. I want to say for no reason. It pays off for 10 seconds tops. It doesn't need to be in here.
No, and it kind of makes the help that they give them feel disingenuous as well.
Right. There's no point to the show existing, is all I'm saying.
So the ghosts feel bad about killing the Pac children, but they can't go against what Betrayus said.
Because he's watching on camera.
Yeah, there's like a weird slug camera that is...
It looks like a lamprey.
It does look like a lamprey, you're right. Betrayus is on his couch watching. Butler is holding a plate of... I think they were bat wings that he was eating?
I wasn't paying that much attention.
No, well, it was just like a pile of black pointy things. I think they were bat wings. So Blinky reads the proclamation ordering their deaths. But then Pinky, at first I thought this was an accident, but I think she did it on purpose. She like flips a switch on her gun, which makes it fire backwards. So it takes out the camera thingy.
Yeah. I mean, she obviously did it on purpose.
Okay. She needs to ask Pac if he has a crush on her before she kills him. And he says no, so she's just like, oh, okay. And then they move forward with the execution.
And then there's that whole thing of Cylindria pretending that they just broke up because he has feelings for someone.
Right.
So that he can then lie to Pinky.
Were he and Cylindria a couple? Or is this just
I
part
don't
of the
think
ruse?
so.
Okay.
This is part of the ruse.
Yeah. His friends convince him to lie to Pinky and say that he has a crush on her. This felt unnecessary.
This whole episode is unnecessary.
I feel like they could have just been like, listen, we were nice to you. And by nice, I mean we didn't eat you.
Right.
Even though we kept threatening to.
We did imprison you and force you to work with us, but you could be dead. You could be twice dead.
You could be eyeballs.
Then what are you gonna do? You gotta get a new sheet?
Yeah, I don't
It's a pain in the
I
ass.
think the eyeballing is even permanent. So I don't know. Anyway, there's more slug cameras that show up, and then the ghosts zap all of them and just let the Pacs out of the cage.
Like, it's so dumb. It's the same plot point. It's just destroy more cameras this time. And Betrayus is like, oh, I guess things happen with the cable company. It's dumb.
Yeah, which implies that all of these camera slugs have cables running from them.
It's Wi-Fi.
So the packs are still shrinking. They're getting smaller and smaller in here. That's what happens in hell. You get smaller and smaller.
I guess, but if they're that small, they didn't really need to get broken out of prison. They could have just gone through the
That's a good point.
really spaced apart bars.
They only had to shrink one more time and they could have easily just hopped out of that cell.
And they shrink as soon as they get out of the cell, so it's like it was right around the corner anyway.
The ghosts give up a big box and tell them where to go to get to the tree. And the box has a giant bone in it, so Spiral and Cylindria give Fluffy the bone, while Pac, who's tiny and still getting smaller, goes to get a berry from the tree. Like, the bone didn't really seem that useful because Fluffy tries to eat them anyway.
It bought time. I think that's all. It was a distraction while Pac-Man snuck by.
I guess without the bone, Fluffy would have had a head for all three of them.
Yeah.
That's true. But Pac-Man managed to eat the berry, even though it's like almost the same size as him now.
Yeah.
Really highlights the fact that Pac-Man is all head.
We didn't know that before.
How's he digesting these things? Nah, I guess we do that all along, but just makes you think about it in a way that I don't know if I'm comfortable with.
Maybe it makes you think about Pac-Man digestive systems, but that's not where my head went.
Where did your head go? Nowhere?
Nowhere.
Okay.
No thoughts, head empty. I was waiting for this episode to be over. It's dragged on so long.
But it's good because Pac-Man eats the berry and then he becomes giant. The functions of these berries are unclear.
They're, I would say, random, because like even the colors I don't think are that important.
I think he ate a blue one when he got the ice powers last time, and I think he eats a red one later to get fire powers.
But I mean, they all eat a different colored berry, and now they can fly.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, I am very unclear about why they can fly.
Right.
Because I thought that getting superpowers from eating the berries is what made Pac special.
Right.
But can they just, everyone can do that?
I guess, because, like, Spiral and Cylindria eat a berry to go to hell, and, like, they don't get superpowers, but it's still, like, not ineffective on them.
The same effect it did on Pac-Man.
Right. Another flying.
Yeah, which has to have been the berries.
They don't get to breathe fire like he does, but...
But they didn't try, to be fair.
True. And I feel like flying is a more impressive superpower.
Yeah, all he did is belch one fireball. Betrayus goes to watch the execution in person since his cable's out, but he finds the ghost gang tied up in the cell so that they can pretend that the Pac people...
They got duped.
Yeah. And, yeah, Spiral's just carrying the tree above his head on his own.
He's the strong one.
And they have definitely made the tree much smaller for this shot than it normally is, but...
And now he's full of oops all berries.
That's true. So my worry about how they were going to get the tree home was clearly unfounded. They could just do that fine. What else happens? Betrayus yells at Fluffy and gets mauled. The dragon from earlier shows up again to fill up some more time.
Immediately gets taken out by the aforementioned belched fireball.
Yeah. They manage to shut the doors to the Netherrealm just in time to stop a million ghosts pouring through. And the president gives them all medals and changes Paxter's name to Pac-Man.
You'll always be Paxter to your childhood friends, but now that you're the savior of Pac-World, I think I'll call you Pac-Man.
Like...
And that's the
That's
end.
pretty much the end. I mean, like you said earlier, the idea of the president just changing my name.
Quite frankly, I think Paxter is a stupid name. I think we should go with something more fitting, like Pac-Man.
I knew your parents, and I told them not to name you Paxter, and they ignored me. I've been sore about it ever since. I'm gonna rename you to my suggestion, Pac-Man.
Who's got the last laugh now?
And back in the Netherrealm, Betrayus receives a get well soon card from Fluffy, which implies the word ass.
It does.
Hope you're feeling better fast. Sorry I bit you on the... Oh,
And look, he signed it with his paw print.
I felt
It
a bit
does.
odd about that. I don't know why there's so much butt humor in this show.
Because you wrote it.
None of the characters have butts.
Butler has a butt.
Yeah, but it's on his face.
So?
Yeah.
That's where yours is, and I don't say anything.
There are a... Fuck you. There are a lot of butt-themed ghosts, is something that I know.
Yeah. Because butts are funny to kids.
I guess. Because Butler has a brother who's called, like, Dr. Butts or something. I can't remember.
Dr. Butt. Now that's just stealing from me.
Dr. Butts from The Simpsons.
Is it?
Yeah, Bart puts the stethoscope on his butt when he's in the hospital.
Right. That's not what I was using it from. I just thought it was funny.
It is funny.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cheeks. I'm doing my rounds and I'm a little behind.
Oh, Simpsons, I miss you.
What does Betrayus do with his face at the very end?
I don't know, but I just need to tell you that his name is Dr. Buttocks.
Okay, that's better. You can still use Dr. Butt. It hasn't been taken.
Okay. Hold on. I'm rewinding to get a glimpse of this face. Oh, right. He's like... Isn't he like blowing a kiss back or something?
Maybe. I think that's what...
But he doesn't really have lips.
I think that's what they were going for, but it doesn't look right.
It doesn't look right, but like you can hear the lip smacking noise.
Okay. It's confusing. Oh, that's the end.
Thank God.
No more Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventure.
Ever again.
No, we're gonna watch it some more, but not right now.
No. No.
But Mel, we haven't even seen Sir Cum.
Oh, pardon?
His full name is Circumference, but according to Wikipedia, he's known as Sir Cum.
I don't care for that. I don't like that. That is gross. That is gross.
Yeah, can't believe they did that. They knew that they did that.
Oh no. All I see listed in here is Sir C.
Okay, when I was on the Wikipedia page about it, the actual Wikipedia, not the fan wiki,
Right.
I was scrolling down the characters list, and here, Pack Wielders, the second one, Circumference, and then in quotes, Circum,
Oh no.
is a goofy scientist who has met Pack's father and mother.
I can't even Google this to try and find an answer.
Because you're not going to
I'm
get
not
what you
typing
want.
that. No, I'm gonna get something worse.
Yeah, and it's spelled exactly like you think as well. This isn't a homophone. This is a real. That's what it says.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to know, but I do want to know at the same time.
We need to know whether the fan wiki or the actual wiki is correct.
Yeah. So Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures fans, sorry for what we said.
I'm not. You can do better than this.
Yeah.
You deserve better than this show.
This is like the Sonic Underground fans, right? Where it's like, you love that show because it took your mind off a bad time in your life, I feel like.
Yeah. That's the only time I will allow it. If it's just your comfort show.
Yeah, I can understand that. But this isn't my comfort show. In fact, we talked about this last time, I'm sure, but I watched the first episode of this when it came out. I was at uni at the time, and immediately, I just watched one episode, and I was like, I never want to experience that again, thank you.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
I've experienced it twice more.
And you're gonna force us to watch it even more.
Yeah, I've made a list of 25 episodes that I thought would be worth looking at.
No.
Listen, it doesn't have to happen, but it just might.
I would rather it didn't.
We'll see. Hey, thanks for joining us, everybody, first of all. If you've been here with us since the beginning, wow, 3 years, right? Can you believe
That's
it?
gross.
I can't believe it.
That's gross and I'm embarrassed.
It's okay. I won't tell anybody.
You've told so many people.
Yeah, but I'll stop. If you would like us to watch more of Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, you could sign up to be a member of our Club Mesmerons on Patreon, where you get to demand that we do stuff like that.
If you would like us to watch more episodes of Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures, you can shove it.
No, you can make us, but only for money. Thank you to our current only Club Mesmeron, Marley the Changeling, for your support, and to our Club VIPs, Jamie Core and Mark Kelly.
Thanks, you weirdo.
Thanks for sticking with us for this long. I don't know why. You come follow me on Blue Sky. I'm Skull Pirate Mike. I post updates about the show there. If there's ever an episode missing, you could probably go there and find out why. It's probably because one of us got sick.
Yep, that's a big trend in our life.
Mostly me.
Yeah, you're the reigning champion of being gross.
Although, I feel like when I'm sick, I usually push through it and try and do the episode anyway. But when you're sick, I'm like, no, let's not do it because Mel's sick.
When we missed it a couple weeks ago, I could barely talk.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't like laryngitis bad, but it was difficult and it would have sounded bad. And I was extremely sleep deprived.
Yeah.
It would have been a weird episode that nobody wanted to listen to.
You slept for like 2 full days after that, didn't you?
It was great.
It's all you've ever dreamed of. Mel,
Yeah,
thanks for being here.
I regret everything.
Bye. It's like, I feel like we have to do something.
Like what?
I don't know.
Sing a song? Dance a dance?
Yeah.
Are we gonna sing the Pack is Back theme song?
We don't have like an anniversary song. Oh god. No, let's sing the other one.
Where he just says Pac-Man?
Yeah, you ready?
No!
You do the Pac-Man part and I'll do the music.
Nobody wants to hear this, Mike.
Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo.
I don't remember where the Pac-Man comes in.
Right then, that was your cue.
I missed it. Darn, I'll never get on Broadway.
Oh, well, we tried.
We shouldn't have.